תודה לתמרה, אנחנו לא נתרגם, היא תספר את זה בבית שאתם מוזמנים אלינו אחר כך. אני רוצה להזמין את מרינה, גם חברה מרוסיה.
I'm here to say hello to Sarah and to Uri and to all Leonid's friends from behalf of those Russian company of friends who are partly here, partly somewhere in Israel, still in Moscow, somewhere here on West Coast. But all our thoughts and all our hearts are here today. And let me just to say a few words about Russian. This is better? About Russian chapter of Leonid's life. Let's go back to Moscow. 1948. Soviet Union just won World War II. And our parents were the youngest generation who participated in this war. So they survived this nightmare and wanted to enjoy peaceful life, romantic love, family and kids. The country was poor and destroyed, but peoples were in a high spirit, and a lot of hopes and expectations were there. So it was year 1948, May, when Leonid was born. Two Muscovite intellectuals, musicians and mathematicians, rather rare combination, gave him all the love and passion of their hearts. And they were with him all the life. And he remembered them even after their death, because it was the closest and the most respectful people he ever knew. And he gave him this passion to music and math. And it was with Leonid all his life. He graduated prestige mathematical school in Moscow, got musical education also, and when the time I met him for the first time, it was our first September. It was the first meeting was in September 1967, when we all were admitted to Moscow Pedagogical University. And my first impression of Leonid, just sharp young fellow with great sense of humor, a little bit snobbish of his advanced knowledge of everything, and huge interest of art, politics, history, and everything. We studied easily, didn't spend much time on studies, or didn't listen to that, didn't pay attention to that. But we spend a lot of our time reading prohibited literature, what we call samizdat, discussing poetry, politics, Stalin's, and communists' dictatorship. It was very interesting, it was very discovering, and it was very educational to all of us. So that 4 years at our university was the most knowledgeable time in my life, and I think that in Leonid's time also. We try to understand ourselves, what is wrong in our society and how to change it. We were not dissidents. but we definitely were the people who didn't support communist ideology. So back to our university time. Lectures, seminars, some of them annoying, such as history of Communist Party, of Russian revolutionary movement. And it was a great, absolutely amazing breaks with Leonid's piano. And right now I would like to read a message from Moscow, from our common friend who studied with us. And his name is Andrei Manovtsev, and Tamara is his closest friend. And he was my closest friend also. It's strange, we never met with Tamara, but we heard a lot about each other before. So, a few words from Andrei Manovtsev. I will never forget Lenya playing communist awesome, we call it international, and on the old great piano. It was black one, but very old also. And it was staying in our auditorium during. So Lenya played this piano during the lecture break. Lenya started very seriously and ironically, solemnly. We knew very well what to expect. All of a sudden, Lenya made some musical passage which had nothing in common with our awesome, but was very essential. Well, Lenya continued seriously with anthem, but suddenly he made another passage longer than the previous one, and then the dumb awesome turned into very joyful jazz music. We were greatly delighted. I was teaching at the Pedagogical University for 10 years, from 1991 to 2001, and quite often I gave lectures in the same auditorium and looked at the same, now completely broken, old grand piano, and recalled this episode and how calm and serious Lenya stayed. He was the calmest person I knew. You wouldn't imagine how compassionate he was. Tamara Meirov was Lenya's schoolmate and one of his closest friends. She is also my childhood friend. I know from her how Lenya supported her when she immigrated to Israel. I know from Galia Velska, it's another friend of ours, how Lenya helped her parents when their acquaintance betrayed them. There was some secure foundation in his calmness, his peacefulness. His humor was never wicked or clownish. It seems that he was not affected with common disease of Soviet intelligentsia. He looked at authorities. He thought about what was going on, as we did. However, he was positive, and it was wonderful. We all are very fortunate because we got to know him. Another chapter in Lenya's life, when he started to prepare for immigration. It was time when, for the first time, I said goodbye to him, because we didn't expect to meet each other in our real life. It was year 92, 93, when Iron Curtain was almost closed, and Lenya was the last of that wave of immigration. So, immigration. Those who survived it and had this experience may know that it's always pain of cutting all the roots, friends, and loved ones, and clear understanding that this is your only chance to obtain personal freedom and do something really good and helpful in your life. It is, and it was a major test in our lives, and Leonid passed this. And Leonid passed it extremely well, combining top professional achievement with great love and outstanding family relationship. I have a few other messages from our friends, and it's a short addition to what you read already from Vera's brother and from Arkasha, but he described his impression of Leonid's professional achievement when he first just realized how big they are. I do not remember what year it was when I attended a seminar. Leonid had a talk as a representative of the Israeli aircraft industry about a project which he managed. It was first project in environment.net. Those who are familiar with this, it was really, really revolutionary. Technical approaches and some scientific and programmers approaches. And it was very, very complicated. It's about network of computers receiving and processing data from satellites. It was the first time I saw a real person who made a real design of a highly complicated project and implemented it exactly according to this design. So, on behalf of all of us, let Leonid be always with us and stay in our memory as he always was, intelligent, sophisticated, and gifted with many talents.
יש לו גם חברים, לא רק חברות. אז אנטולי, בבקשה.
I just wanted to share some lighter moments that we spent together. I went to school with Leonid and Marina, and but Leonid's sense of humor probably was at his best during our military training. So as students in Russia, we were going through compulsory military training, and when we graduated, we became junior lieutenants of reserve of Russian Army, infantry. So for that, in summer '69, we were forced to spend 2 months in military camps on the banks of the Volga River in beautiful pine trees. So somebody said before that, how did, we all survived in that oppressive regime? But we actually managed to have a lot of fun. So my most vivid memory there is that the officers all disappeared, so we stole some tracer bullets, put them in the ground, and made fireworks. Now, we didn't have a piano there, so Leonid had an idea. So we had an accordion, but Leonid didn't know how to play the accordion. So 2 guys were moving accordion, and Leonid was playing on this on the keyboard on one side of the accordion, some kind of jazz improvisation. And that picture of this fireworks going on, and we were all quite drunk already by that time. It's so this stays forever in my memory. So Leonid was, of course, at the center of all those pranks and jokes, and most of them involving some sort of music. But always with a very straight face. You can never tell this. And I can see that Uri inherited probably this trait. So he always keeps a straight face, but I'm sure that he has a phenomenal sense of humor, just like his father. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
תודה. מרק, עכשיו, אנחנו נשמע עוד קטע בכינור, אחר כך אורי יאמר משהו, ואנחנו גם נראה שני סרטונים קצרים שבהם רואים את לאוניד מנגן, אבל זה אחר כך.
We're gathering here today to respect Leonid, or Loni as some know him. A father I really couldn't ask for a better one. He got me into tennis, music, tried to get me interested in studying, but didn't really work. And he really, truly helped me with my SATs or any other problem basically I had in my life. And he was really a true friend, basically. I could tell anything to him. Most of our time together was around the table and family dinners and Saturday, Friday nights, every lunch after school. And we always used to talk for a long time together about everything we wanted to talk about. And we never notice how time goes by. And if you've been to our house, you see the window and we see it's getting dark. And of course, my parents have to tell me go do my homework, and I go do my homework. He always used to talk about how great Tenafly is, how he loved being so close to New York. The city he really loved so much. It was the center of the world with only the best shows and concert, culture, and just couldn't get enough of that. Many times when my friends, when they ask me, what does your dad do for a living? And I say that when he came here, he stopped working. So they were always always curious how does he spend his time. And I always explain that he has so much interest in his life, so much curiosity to learn more and more, even though probably the smartest man I know, but he always tried to study more about Russian poetry and literature, movies, documentaries, history, music, much more, of course. For example, every time we read a book in school, because he loved literature so much, he would always ask me what book we read. I'd tell him, though I didn't know much, and he always automatically would read it, finish it before me, of course. And really we used to discuss it, tried to explain things to me from different perspectives. And maybe we would watch the movie of it and talk a lot. He always shared his views that I truly find very unique, because he was a very interesting man, and he said stuff that I never heard it from anyone else. Only he saw things the way he saw them. With all of these rich activities and hobbies that he had, even though he stopped working, he was never bored for a single day. He always was his life was so rich, and he always had something to do and talk about. And that's my father, smart, musical, genuinely amazing person, one of a kind, my role model, of course, the most influential man in my life, truly helped me shape my personality and ideologies, and he's my father that will carry his memory and wisdom with me forever.
I would like to play a piece of Bach in the piano, and just a brief introduction. We once saw a movie of a pianist, Sviatoslav Richter, and Leonid and me, and this pianist used to play a lot of high technique pieces, and once he was asked, "Do you play Bach?" So he was thinking a little bit and said, "Yes, from time to time, because of hygienic reasons, like to purify myself." And Leonid and me, we liked this sentence, we liked this phrase a lot, and whenever we wanted to purify ourselves, we put Bach. So I'll play the first prelude, the piano.
שיר קצרצר של יהודה עמיחי. אני חושבת שכל מי שהכיר את לאוניד יוכל להזדהות איתו, ובטח לאור כל הדברים ששמענו עד עכשיו. לשכוח אדם. לשכוח אדם הוא כמו לשכוח לכבות את האור בחצר, ונשאר דולק גם ביום. אבל זה גם לזכור בזכות האור. I'll also read a translation I found in English. Forgetting someone is like forgetting to turn off the light in the backyard, so it stays lit all the next day. But then it is the light that makes you remember.
שני הקטעים הבאים יגרמו לכם גם לחייך. אנחנו נראה את לאוניד מנגן כשאורי בן 10 חודשים. We'll see two short pieces while Leonid is playing the piano while Uri was 10 months old. It was in Jerusalem in our home. And it's charming. But he's still charming, right? תנגן.
אורי לקלוע.
אוריליק ואבאלה, אוריליק ואבאלה, אורי כדורי. אורי, היי! רוצה לפחדה? הלו, אוריאל? אורי הוכפלד.
טוב. תודה רבה שבאתם להיות איתנו בימים הכי קשים שלנו, וגם במשך השבעה ועל התמיכה. אתם מוזמנים לבוא אלינו הביתה עכשיו, החלק הלא פורמלי,